It seems that we Americans have an excellent understanding about wanting more. I think from the very beginning of our lives, we understand and get wanting more. I mean, we want more food, right? We want more sleep. We want more friends. We want more education. We want more money. We want more stuff. We want more. And maybe there's a purpose to wanting more. I mean, if we were satisfied always with what we had and never worked to have more, what would happen to our economy? You know, we're sort of in this vicious cycle, if you will, about wanting more and yet being satisfied with what we have. And I think that the apostles that are with Jesus are in that very thing. They're caught in that very trap. They say to Jesus, increase our faith, which is another way of saying we want more. Well, perhaps there is also a purpose to why they want more faith. Jesus has just been teaching them about he's continuing to teach them. He's on his way to Jerusalem. And he's been teaching them just before this that if someone harms them, even up to 7 times in a single day, and comes to them and says, I repent, that they are bound and must forgive them each and every time. And I don't know about you, but that's a really tall order. And so the very next thing then that they say to Jesus is, increase our faith. I think it takes faith in order to forgive. And so they're asking because I'm thinking that they just don't really think that they have enough to do the things that Jesus is asking them to do. And it's not just about forgiveness. It's about sharing his story. It's about living the life that Jesus has taught them how to live. No wonder, increase our faith. I mean, we're probably in that same sort of thought. After all, the world hands out some pretty horrible things. And the first thing we may think is, we don't have enough faith to get through this. What are we going to do? God, give us more. And Jesus is very clear to say to them, you don't need more than you already have. The faith the size of a mustard seed is enough. Just a little bit of faith is enough. And you have received that. You've been gifted that by God. So what if it's not about faith that we have for our own purpose to get through whatever it is that we've been dealt, but it's faith put into action? That it's living out the faith and trusting that the God that is inside of us will get us through. That perhaps faith isn't about shining on us, look how strong my faith is, but shining to the one who gives it to us, helping Jesus to shine in the world, helping people to see that it is the faith that God gives. Think about people that you know who seem or have seemed, perhaps they're from your past, that have seemed to just live out their faith. That just are so ingrained by it. It's such a part of who they are that you can't even imagine them asking to have more faith. Well, maybe you're thinking, God already gave them more. They don't need more faith. And yet, maybe they're just not even thinking about asking for more because they're trusting that God gives them what they need when they need it. We don't really need to stockpile We've got to love. The faith that brings us to this place every Sunday, the faith that brings us to the table, the faith that helps us to get up in the morning, the faith that gives us courage when Jesus says, go and be with those that the world thinks are not worthy. It's risky. It's a little scary thinking about faith in that way as a matter of action. I mean, look what it got Jesus, right? Being with those that the world thought were worthless got him abandonment from his disciples, and he was hung on a cross. Well, I was reading an article by Cynthia, and I think that I'm saying her name right, Erivo. She is the actress that's playing Harriet Tubman in the new movie Harriet. And she had this to say: to be someone who has faith is a wonderful thing, but seeing faith in action is even better. I think that sums it up. That faith isn't about us just having enough to handle whatever is given to us. But faith is about living out with love and courage the faith that God has already given us.